I watched Zone of Interest. I watched Zone of Interest, and listen, after the director made that speech, Jonathan Glazer, in the Oscars, that very powerful and courageous speech, I had to watch the movie. He sold it to me. And bro, what he said and what this movie represents, the dehumanization of people, oh my God, he represents it so well in this movie. And I could see why he made this movie, and two, he had to make the speech, and why people think of Gaza. Because if you watch it, bro, and listen, guys, I'm being honest, this movie is very, very boring. And I tell you why it's boring. Because it shows the regular life of this commander and his family, and how he's trying to give his family, the best life and the best house, right next to the Auschwitz concentration camp, right next to it. That's the wall right there. I'm living this beautiful life with my statues. I'm doing this podcast. Right there is the Auschwitz. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Concentration camp, and we know through history, we know as a fact that the horrendous atrocities that happen in that concentration, men, women, and children. Disgusting on what happened there. And throughout this movie, the reason why I say it's boring is because you're watching this family live a normal life. I'm talking about a scene where they go into bed. And you know, when you go to bed, you check all the doors are locked, you make sure all the lights are off. Simple things like that. This is how these people are living. And this is what he's trying to express through this movie, that the dehumanization of human beings is so, as a cancer in your brain, that you can live your life like that. The windows are open sometimes and they hear screams and they're like, oh, just close the window, it's okay. Fires are going off, gunshots, people are screaming, I'll just close the window, it's okay. The kids are having fun in their pool. And when I mean the wall is there, boys, it's your back garden, literally, it's your wall there. And they just program the kids and brainwash the kids that don't worry about what's happening. They have guests over. Guests, oh, this is my flower here. Oh, is that the wall? Is that the actual? Yeah, that's the camp over there. Don't worry about it. That's how much, when you've dehumanized a group of people, it's disgusting. It's a cancer to your brain that you can live that kind of life when murderous millions and hundreds of, well, there was a scene, I couldn't even believe it. They were just having this strategy meeting on how many human beings they could burn. Oh, you could do 500 here, and then you do here, and then you could get another 500 here. I'm like, they're so casually talking about it, which is like, and we know this is what happened. This is history. And he really expresses that in this movie. That's why I said the movie's boring, because you're watching people just living a general life. But when you know what's happening, there's this sense of you're captivated on, like, how are you living this life when you know that's happening? That's what captivates you in the movie. That's the message that he was trying to spread. And that's why it was so important that he said, and he was so brave to say that message of what's happening in Gaza, because that's exactly what's happening in Gaza right now. The dehumanization, you've got everyone in Israel right now. Not everyone. There's a lot of people protesting there. So respect to them brothers and sisters there. But a lot of casual people just dehumanizing, don't even care what's happening with those children dying. It's exactly the same thing. And that's why not only did he make this movie, because this movie happened, I mean, Gaza's Palestine situation happened for ages, but he made this movie, but then this whole situation happened. And the fact that he expressed that, when I say I recommend it because you need to understand the dehumanization, the way he expresses it.
But that's the problem with human beings and the centuries that we've lived on, and people thinking that they are the superior race or human culture, religion. This is what happens, bro. And society has broken it up into those things. When you say you're better than that other person, what does that mean? Well, I'm better than him in this. I'm better than him in that. We are this superior. You know what I mean? That's how fucked up, how brainwashed society and human beings are, and how easily we could be influenced into a different direction. But I suppose the Islamic religion teaches you how to find your deen and your iman in being yourself as well. So you're supposed to invite your neighbors. Doesn't matter where they're from or what they are or what they believe. We're here to spread the message, man. I think people lose that along the way. They genuinely lose that. We've been with even the way we grew up, bro. reason why we felt out of place is because all we knew about was their history, what they went through. And it makes me a little bit upset that, yeah, we'll get a month or a day or, Bangladeshi this, Independence Day, blah, blah, blah. I wish we were taught all history. And I know you have to take that out of context. We're in somebody else's country. Our parents are the immigrants. So we're going to have to learn their ways. But I genuinely wish I took, like now I will look into it. Now I'll watch videos on our country. Now I'll do things like that. But just, on a larger scale, you got a multicultural class here. There's probably two that's probably the originals. But the rest of us, we're from a different part of something where we don't fit into. And I think that's what they do, is displace us in that sort of way, bro. It's so weird that, like, as I get older, I understand it a bit more and how much they put us out of place and how they're still doing it now, bro. They're still doing it now, even with a guy who is a brown face in Parliament. He's a puppet. He is a puppet. They got you up on there, so you basically, his legacy will be, you're a muppet. You messed up in COVID. You're a muppet. You supported this genocide. You're a muppet. You can't even keep control of what's going on right now. And your cabinet members are racist and all sorts of that. And they're saying, oh, we're the first diverse, looking cabinet members, but they're a bunch of puppets up on there, to be honest. In the background, there's something else happening. That's your legacy. So when you die, that's what people are going to remember you by. Such a shame, bro. And that's what people keep forgetting. Like, you could leave something else so much better for the next generation. And it doesn't have to be money, and it doesn't have to be, you cause this and this and that. We just need to spread a bit more love into humanity. And that changes a lot of things, man. But yeah.
Us regular people, listen,
I'll check it out.
us regular people are the ones who like, we are connected through social media and new technology and whatnot. We do want to get to know each other. There's so much, us regular people, that's what I'm saying, are the people who are the heroes. But unfortunately, and it's just the way it works, the people in charge are the ones who try to segregate us, who want us to dehumanize people. Like I say, man, the way this movie expresses it, I mean, this word is bad, but it's amazing how he expresses it. But because the history is like, it's horrible. It is horrible. And that's why when he spoke out, all those Zionists, I'm not calling them Jewish because they're not, they're hijacking the religion. All them Zionists were like, oh, this guy, and they're cussing him and they're saying this and that. They were upset that there were not even any Jews in the whole movie. That was the point of the movie. But listen, if he didn't say that speech, they would have loved it. The fact that he said that speech, they were like, oh, he's not even Jewish, he's a disgrace. Listen, he's a real Jewish brother, sister. He's a real Jewish brother. He probably, I don't know how much he follows his faith, but the fact that he probably follows his faith more than any of you Zionists who tried to claim the religion, because he knows human life means more. It means so much, right? But there was no Jewish people in the movie. They didn't need to be, because the whole point was about what happens when you dehumanize a bunch of people. And that's what the world does. Oh, we don't care about those Palestinians. That's why you just live your life and everything's cool. You can, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even want to know the Palestinians. They're not, and that's why all that fake news came out in the beginning of October 7th. Now, October 7th happened and it was horrible. It's horrible. I wish it didn't have to happen that way. But the beheading of babies, which could set people on fire, the rapes, lies. I think there were some cases of rape or something, but the mass thing of it was lies. The babies dying, putting babies in oven, all lies. It's all been debunked. Again, Monday, man, why I say I forgot his
Monday,
name.
bro. Yeah, Monday, bro.
That dude, he has a whole thing on his new site called debunking of the lies. Anyway, the movie is about the guys. We as regular people will never dehumanize anyone. That's a fact. People in charge, man, the people who you listen to, those are the ones that want you to dehumanize people. Which is why these things happen, man. So great listen. When I say great movie, I'm just a great expression of what happens when you dehumanize a group of people. That's what it
Exactly.
is. It's tough. Guys, check it out. Zone of Interest, like I said, check it out.